Hi, and welcome to your January challenge, a month-long challenge of just 10 to 15 minutes of fitness a day. A new video every Monday through Friday for the entire month. And it ranges from lower body, glutes, back, arms, flexibility. We also have some beautiful restorative practices at the end of every week so that we can include some restful recovery days for our body. Today is week 2, day 4, and we're working on flexibility, or I like to think of it as more of mobility because we have not just flexibility, but we do have some strength as we work in our yoga postures. So we're not just going to find the current limits of our muscles, but we're going to build into those limits by creating more strength in the body. We're going to get started by just easing into this sequence by taking deer pose. So deer pose, we'll go ahead and take a seat. Let's face the top edge of our mat. And let's take the right shin so it's at a parallel angle with the top edge. And then the left shin will be parallel with the left edge of the mat. So you have this 90-90 position of the legs. And we're just going to stay tall here in the deer pose. From here, we're going to twist over to the right. Keep that left hip grounded. Try to keep the knee feeling towards the earth. It may not reach there, that's fine, but we want to have that intention of feeling it push down and reach towards the earth. We're going to twist towards the left and then twist back towards the right. Once more over towards the left. From here, keep the legs where they're at. We're going to start to walk the torso over the top of that right shin. Now from here, my hands are reaching the mat, but we want to add some strength into the hips, strength into the low body. Can you lift the hands away from the mat? And then bring the torso back to an upright position. So from here, we're going to reach forward and then come back for 5 reps. Reach forward. Stay grounded into the low body, stay strong in the core, and then start to draw back for 1. Reach, draw back for 2. Reach, lift up for 3. Reach, lift up for 4. On the last one, let's reach and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it up, and we're going to switch out the legs. So from here, I'm going to just flip my legs. So now my torso is facing over the front of the left shin, and now I get to face the camera. We're just going to stay here in this lifted posture for a moment. It could feel quite different from facing the other leg, but now I just want you to make sure that your left shin is in front of you in a parallel position, and then your right shin is out to your right side, parallel with that side of the mat as well. A nice 90-90 shape. From here, we're going to just take some twists just to ease our way into it, going from left to right. One more time. And when you're ready, we're going to come back to face that left shin. We'll start with our hands on the earth and start to shift forward, leaning over the front of that left shin. Feel your way out if you can. Lift the hands up and then draw the torso back in towards the center, keeping the belly button drawn in towards the spine. Stay strong in the core, and then we're going to do that for 5. So let's reach and lift for 1. Again, we're pausing on the reach. Reach and lift for 2. Reach and lift for 3. Reach and lift for 4. Reach and lift for 5. Reach and lift for 6. And you know what? I threw in an extra one there. We forgot to do our hold. I've been doing practices all morning, so I've just plumb forgot how to count. So we're going to hold on this last one for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And oh yay, now you get to lift. You're really feeling it into that left hip. You got a little extra work. I hope you needed it. We're going to come to a standing position at the top of our mat. So make your way to the top of your mat. and just come into a nice mountain pose. For this next step, you may want a couple of blocks. I do strongly suggest it. It's going to help you reach the floor a little bit more easily. And we're going to start to warm up into those hamstrings more. And of course, coming into a forward fold is really tough, just coming right on into it. So we're just going to come into a halfway lift. So let's draw the hands down the legs, taking the hands to the front of the shins. The feet are hip width distance apart and the back is flat. I want you to think about creating a little arch in the low back. So our tailbone is tipped like we're tilting a bowl of soup out of our pelvis. You're not going to have much movement there, but it's that intention, and then keeping the nice flat back will help to open up into the back of these hamstrings before we fully go for it and go into a full forward fold. So holding here, take a moment and breathe. And when you're ready, we're going to bend the knees, just allow the torso to drape over the front of the legs. From here, let's grab our blocks. We're going to place them on the earth in front of us, the low, middle, or high height, whatever works for you. We're going to come into the halfway lift again. This time in our halfway lift, we're going to keep the legs straight, keep the back flat, but I want you to think about pushing, really pushing into those blocks. As you do so, you're going to feel the feet drive into the mat, allow the back of the legs to straighten even more. And again, look for that tiny little arch into the low back. Really, really, really activating the back of the legs here as we push and push, push and hold. And when you're ready, release. We're going to set the blocks out in front of you. We're going to come into a full forward fold with the back of the legs straight. Allow the head and the neck to hang heavy. Take a deep breath. And exhale it out. One more deep breath in. On your next inhale, let's come to a halfway lift. We're going to widen the feet so we can make some space, allow the toes to turn out at a slight angle, and we're going to come down into a yogi squat or malasana. Maybe shifting from the left to the right. Opening up into the hips can be also quite helpful when you're working on opening the low body. And from our malasana, we're going to flow between malasana and our forward fold. So from malasana, we're going to place the hands just in front of us, lift up with the hips, turn the toes in, come into a forward fold, hang the head and the neck, and then come back into yogi squat, turn the toes out, allow the hips to come down, the elbows in between the knees. Placing the fingers down, hands down, lift the hips, hang the head for our forward fold, and then returning once more into yogi squat. Let's take that 2 more rounds. Lift the hips, drop the head, lower down. Lift the hips, drop the head, and then lower down into our yogi squat. From yogi squat, we're going to lift the hips once more. Allow the hands to come to the hips. Take a slight bend in the knees as we roll up and come into our mountain pose. From mountain, we're going to take a big step out and just have the legs spread wide. So we're in this wide-legged, almost like we're preparing for a wide-legged forward fold, but we're going to take some skandasanas from left to right. Now, you can come all the way to the earth, or if you want to take a modification, you don't need to come down as low, but we're going to turn the left toes out and then maybe widen the stance as we bend the left knee. Come down. If you can lower all the way down, you're going to shift and bring the right toes and face them up towards the sky. Maybe bring the hands to prayer. If you don't want to come all the way down, you can stay up on your fingertips and use this. But work towards maybe coming lower. As you shift over towards the right, maybe use your hands. Maybe you go without your hands or just use fingertips as you shift over to the right side skandasana. Staying low, we're going to shift back over to the left, open up. And then we're going to shift back over to the right. Shifting left. And then back to the right. When you're ready, we're going to come back through center. We're going to lift the torso just halfway, spin the feet so that the toes are facing the long edge of the mat and the feet are parallel, and we're going to lower the head down. And you're going to feel a stretch into the back of the legs, into the hamstrings. Allow the head and the neck to hang heavy. Maybe start to walk the hands behind you. Maybe coming abeam the ankles or maybe even behind the feet. Think of straightening, lifting the glutes, lifting the tailbone toward the sky, straightening into the back of the legs. And when you're ready, we're going to walk up to a halfway lift in our wide-legged stance. And then we're going to start to heel toe the feet back in. And then settle the hips and the glutes onto the earth as we come to our backs for one final stretch. From here, this is very similar to a pose that we took last week where we strengthen out or lengthen out the back of the legs. From here, we're going to keep the right knee bent and then draw the left foot in. You can take a hold of the left foot with a strap or maybe take a hold of the big toe or the outside edge of the left foot. You can also take a hold of the left shin. But we're going to start here by extending the left foot, drawing the left toe, the big toe, towards your nose, so more towards the midline of the body, and then bending the knee. Extend, and then bend, extend, and then bend. From here, we're going to extend that left leg, keep it straight. Maybe you can start to straighten out the right leg. And if you want, you can also take a hold with the right hand as well and just start to draw that left leg in. Really keep that left foot flexed. Again, draw the toes down towards the nose. Even think of that pinky toe drawing towards the face. You're going to feel a good shake into the back of the left leg, an excellent stretch into the calf and the hamstrings. And when you're ready, you can bend that left knee, allow the left foot to come down to the earth. We're going to do the same thing on the right side of the body. We're going to take a hold of the right big toe or the outer edge of the right foot, maybe a strap, pull the knee in, extend the foot, pull the knee in, extend, pulling the leg in, and extend, just getting some good gliding in the nerves that run along the back side of our leg. And when you're ready, we're going to come to stillness and take a hold of that right foot. You can keep a hold of it with one hand, maybe with both, but be sure to keep that right foot flexed and the toes pointing towards the nose. If it feels good, you can extend the left leg long. This will certainly intensify the stretch into the back of the right hamstrings. Know that this takes time and patience. But if all you have is 10 to 15 minutes to do a flexibility or mobility class, this is your way of just making that effort. And you'll find that in 10 minutes, doing this a few times a week, you will make progress. You'll feel better in your body. You might even sleep better at night. And when you're ready, you can release that right leg. Extend the right leg out long. Maybe shift the hips from left to right. Open up the arms out wide. We're just going to take a very short moment in Shavasana. Take a nice deep inhale in. Exhale it out, release. Roll the ankles. Feel life come into the feet. Roll the wrists. And when you're ready, you can draw the knees in, maybe roll onto your side, and we'll all come to a seated position onto the center of our mat. Inhale the arms up, reach the hands up, draw the palms together, and bring them down through heart center with a small tuck of the chin as we close this very short practice to work into your body, to improve your mobility in your day-to-day, and just to feel better in your own body. If you have 10 minutes, you can do it. Hit play on these practices. Play it again because it's quick. Maybe you want to do another one that has already dropped for the month of January. There's a whole playlist that you can check out on this channel that will have these videos for now and forever. So hit that button, subscribe, get your notifications so you can keep joining me in this January challenge. I hope you have a great day. Make it a good one. Bye.